Let me know what y'all would have done if y'all was in my situation. Would you would have take the time to make the guy park his bike and find him a place to stay? I would have let him stay in my house, but my teenagers came in over the weekend, so I didn't have a bedroom to share with them. You know, I would have went as far as doing that, accepting a stranger in my home, but I just didn't simply have a room for him. So I did the next back thing, made him park his bike and took him to a hotel room.
A tech-savvy rider implemented new technology to modify his 2015 GL 1800 Honda Goldwing. That Goldwing later became known as Black Flash, an extreme lighting show bike.
Alright, you two, this is your boy Carnell. Today's Saturday, March 10th. I'm out here in the wildlife refugee area with Joe McGee. Like I was telling y'all, hey, today's it's a pretty good day to ride around in the wildlife refugee area. It's pretty crowded out here because this is a main attraction for Lawton, Oklahoma. And me and Joe just gonna go riding around because there's a lot of motorcycles out here. A lot of buffaloes and cows roaming the area. And me and Joe gonna take it easy. And I'm gonna talk to you all. Hey, I had another partner show up from Texas. His name was Michael Braddock, and brother caught me off surprise. He been planning on coming down here for a while, and I've been trying to make arrangements to get him, meet him and stuff. And I specifically told him that, hey, Saturday is the only time that I'm probably gonna have some time to get away and ride. He ended up coming down on Friday. And from what I understood, it's like a 4-hour trip for him. He came down, he showed up about 10:30 at my front door. He didn't bother to knock on the door, but you know, like I said, my security camera stuff started going off, letting me know that somebody was outside. And so I went on out there and see who he was, and it was him. I invited him to come into the house. Man, my man was wore out. I mean, he was wore out. I looked at him and like, man, this dude is on the road. I don't know him really, but at the same time, I felt that he was not ready to get back on that road, and it was already at 10:30 at night. So I caught myself trying to do the smart thing and be responsible, and I told him, hey, please go ahead and park your bike in my driveway, and I'll go put on some clothes, and we'll drive around town here and go try to find you a nice little cheap hotel for the sleep in for the night. And then in the morning we can probably introduce each other, probably meet each other, and we can go from there. So man, we did exactly that. And the next day, which is today, Saturday, I get a phone call, I'm guessing from his family. His wife called me and said, hey, I'm trying to get in touch with my husband, and he's not answering his phone. I said, man, well, you know, he looked kind of tired to me, and I didn't want to take a chance with him. So I parked his bike and I took him to the hotel room so he can get some sleep. I said, but I'm getting ready to go pick him up, and I let him know that you've been asking for him and he needs to call home. So, you know, 10:30, I do exactly that. I jump in my truck and go back to the hotel I dropped him off at to go pick him up. So enough, I finally get up with him. He's waiting on me. He tells me that his phone has been turned off because this case that he got it in turns his phone off once he encloses it in the case. So I picked him up and brought him back to my house. And I was like, hey man, before we get on this road, I always do some checks on my bike to make sure it's good to go. You know, I appreciate it if you'll do the same for yours. You know, you need some air, here, if you need some gas, you need some tools. I keep all that stuff right here in the corner, you know, have free access to it and use what you need and put it back when you're done. So he do all his motorcycle checks while I'm doing mine. And he go ahead and call it wire. Next thing I know, I look back, man, my brother's bent over like he was about to, you know, have a heart attack, man. And I run over to him like, hey man, what's going on? What's going on? And he was like, brother Carnell, you know, the family member I was coming down here to see, my wife just told me ain't no sense of me trying to continue on with my trip because they just passed away. And man, I felt so guilty. I felt so guilty because this man was on a hardcore mission to go out and see his family. And he was pushing himself to go see this dying family member. And I'm trying to be responsible as a good friend, even though we never met. I'm trying to be responsible and say, hey man, park your Gold Wing in my driveway, and I'm gonna take you to a hotel room. You need to go to sleep. Because I took the initiative to do that, this man missed out on his family member because the family member died on his journey because I made him park his bike. And now here I am feeling guilty because this family member then passed away while I had him sitting up in a hotel room. And I'm like, man, you can't win for losing. Don't know this man, but I'm trying to be responsible and, you know, look out for my brother because he's on a, you know, he's out riding, and I'm just trying to make sure he's good to go. And here I am, because of me trying to be responsible and take initiative to show this guy, hey, be careful on the road. He didn't get a chance to say goodbye to that dying family member. So I've been feeling like shit the rest of the day because I took the initiative to do that. I'm telling y'all this story, man, because I don't want this to happen again. If you're gonna be on the road, man, you need to come up with a game plan to be out here. Gold Wing riders, we got a bad habit of jumping on these bikes and hitting the road, man, because, you know, we consider ourselves lone wolves in the beginning anyway. But man, when you trying to push yourself to go do something and you're not physically ready to do it, you need to have a game plan to fall back on. It shouldn't have to take somebody else, a complete stranger, to force you to go to sleep because you're tired. So I'm angry about the whole thing, but at the same time, I'm upset too, because I was just trying to be a responsible human being and look out for another human being who was pushing himself to get to his destination. So I want to hear y'all feedback, man. I mean, I'm feeling guilty as heck right now, but at the same time, you know, to me, piss poor planning, this is what happened. You got to be prepared for the unprepared. It's no way to get out on the road and be able to handle stuff or be prepared for stuff, because the unexpected always happen. And if you ain't prepared for at least some of it, you ain't gonna never be prepared for anything. Let me know what y'all would have done if y'all was in my situation. Would you would have taken the time to make the guy park his bike and find him a place to stay? I would have let him stay in my house, but my teenagers came in over the weekend, so I didn't have a bedroom to share with them. You know, I would have went as far as doing that and accepting a stranger in my home, but I just didn't simply have a room for him. So I did the next best thing. Made him park his bike, and took him to a hotel room. So this is going out to you, Mike. I wish you the best of luck, my brother. I hope everything turned out okay for you. I wish you a safe journey back home. Hey, man, I really feel bad about you missing out on saying goodbye to your family member. But hey, I just wish you a safe return home, man. Take care. And that's my spiel for today, YouTube. With all that being said, hey, make plans when you want to get on the road. That's the short version. Be prepared for the unprepared. Be prepared, period, for the unexpected. Because it's going to happen. And there's some bad chicks out here today. Let me change up the category. That's my spiel for today, YouTube. Y'all have a good one. GoPro, stop recording.